Hello, hello. It is so great to be with my Canadian friends all the way up there north. Hello, thank you for having me back. It's such a pleasure. I love your online service. I absolutely love it, and it's so well put together. Thank you so much for having me here. So today I want to talk about the journey, the daily practices for us to step out of the ordinary and step into the extraordinary and see if we can up level who we are, how we express, and be a little mystical about that experience. I'd like to have us delve into the power of expecting miracles, the grace of calling on our angels, the liberation found in lavish forgiveness, and the profound peace that we encounter through the silence of meditation. These practices are not just rituals, but they are the gateway to experience a deeper connection with the divine and ourselves and the world around us. In the world, we often feel disconnected and fraught with challenges. And when we embrace the mystic's path, it offers us a beacon of hope and a way to transcend the mundane, and it really touches into the fabric of the divine. So here we are wanting to expand our daily spiritual practices and find within us strength to navigate our lives with greater compassion and understanding and love. Wouldn't that be a great expression and way to live? In the 1970s, there was a commercial in the US where people would hit their forehead and say, wow, I could have had a V8. I don't know if that made it all the way to Canada or not, but today I want you to think about that as a dramatic expression of lack of satisfaction. I got this circumstance in my life and I'd really rather had this one over here. So today I want you to think like, wow, I could have a miracle. We can have miracles, right? We can have the seeming miraculous outcomes in our lives if we believe in miracles. Mystics believe in miracles. We have to believe that God can really do anything. Do you believe that? That spirit is limitless in what it can do in and through your life? If you are a student of A Course in Miracles, you know it says there is no order of difficulty in miracles. No problem too big or too complex for spirit to solve. A miracle is merely a shift in perception. It's a moving away from seeing things in this hard way to moving over here to openness and possibilities. And the more that we align with spirit, the easier it is to manifest what seems to be miraculous. Do you believe that you are worthy of miracles? Do you think it's arrogant to ask for and expect them? I think that we're worthy, and I think we should expect them and ask for them. Miracles are possible not because we earn them, not because of anything that we do. Miracles are possible because of our first unity principle. And the way that Unity Ottawa said it this morning is God is love, one power, one presence in everything, everywhere. That great omnipotence. It is our access to everything that we need. So we don't cause miracles to happen. We allow miracles to happen. When we tap into a strong belief in that one power, that very first power, I've always said, if we could get the first unity principle, we really wouldn't need the rest of them. If we could truly believe that there's one power and one presence in everything, everywhere, that means that power and presence is in everything happening in my life, even the things I don't like and don't understand and can't figure out. Sometimes life feels like we're in a maze and we can't figure out how to get out of it. So we have to believe in the miracle showing us the way. Miracles are the natural way that things are supposed to unfold when we get out of the way. So as mystics, we must believe that we are armed with miracle consciousness. We're to be humble, but self-confident. When we become open and receptive, there's no limit to what can and will manifest in, through, and as us. Jesus taught us that I and the Father are one, and I believe that this is a symbolism for our relationship with God. If you think about it, if you like yourself, you're likely to like the image that you have of God. And if you like your image of God, you're likely to like yourself, because we are all one. We tend to forget who we really are and how powerful we are, and then we start to get lost in that maze. Moses was willing to believe that the power of God could part the Red Sea, and Jesus was willing to believe in performing miracles and accomplishing the resurrection, and Buddha was willing to believe in receiving enlightenment. I was willing to believe in healing victim and addictive thinking and change my life. Are you willing to receive that power within you and allow it to do great things? So how do we get a miracle? We have to set our intention for a miracle. We must expect a miracle. We must stop blaming, shaming, and judging and complaining. Okay, let me say that again. We must stop blaming, shaming, judging, and complaining. I know that's not any of you. I'm only saying that for myself. All of us have that place within us that we go to our deep humanness, and then we have to get back on track. And the most important part about being open to a miracle is being receptive to it and getting rid of our resistance to things turning out without us having to control it. We ask God to heal our bodies, but we don't change our lifestyles. We ask God to heal our addictions, but we keep embracing that addiction. We can ask God for anything, but we have to make space within ourselves for that which we desire. We have to be our own divine intercessor. No one can do that work for us. The second practice of mystics is to use angel guides. So exactly what are angels? Angels are thoughts of love sent from God. They are the energy beings that are the messengers of the divine. And this energy that we call God or allness or spirit is continuously expressing loving thoughts. And so I like to think that there's an infinite number of angels, and they're the real messengers that are sent to bring us peace and joy. Marianne Williamson taught her daughter this bedtime prayer, and I love it. 4 corners round my bed, 4 angels round my head, 1 to watch and 2 to pray, and 1 to chase bad things away. Now you might think that to say that prayer, we're praying to something outside ourselves, but you know what? Angels don't live out there. The Spirit of God doesn't live out there. As mystics, we have already learned that all spiritual phenomena is right inside of us. So when we call on our angels, we're calling forth a higher expression of truth in whatever circumstance or situation that we're dealing with. So think of angels as spiritual mentors that lift you higher, that lift you out of the muck and the mire and the everyday life and strife. And guess what? You're angels as well. You have wings, and your wings are your divine potential. Have you forgotten your potential? So if you can easily get to your chat right now, just chat a message out to the group. You are such an angel. And if you're alone, just touch your hand over your heart and say, I'm an angel. I'm an angel. Yes, you are. So as angels, we must show up in our full regalia. No waiting for the right relationship or the right job or the right money in our bank account, or to lose those 20 pounds so we'll look better in our wings, or to win the lottery like someone in the state of Georgia did 2 nights ago, $1 billion. Wow, we don't have to wait for that. We're angels right now, and we show up armed with these divine wings that allow us to love and serve others in circumstances that they may not understand. And I want to express to you that no matter what the suffering of the past was, no matter the heartbreak or the bankruptcy or the abuse or the addiction or the bad choices or the sickness or the disease, no matter what, that was then. And now you're open to a newness of spirit coming forth. You as the butterfly emerging from the chrysalis. And as the mystic, you rise above and fly over the battlefields of those previous inner wars and scars. And right now, today, you choose to live out your divinity. Your greatness was not predetermined. You did not just get a certain dose of it. You grow into your greatness by making choices that align with your highest good. So it's not always easy to wear your angel wings. So we continue to pray. 4 corners round my bed, 4 angels around my head, 1 to watch and 2 to pray, and 1 to chase bad things away. 1 angel to watch. May Spirit watch my thoughts and guard the door of my mind. And 2 to pray. May I always be connected to Source and have a backup connection in case the power goes out. And an angel to chase bad things away. May Spirit chase from my mind any bad or negative perceptions and help me live from that vantage point of the divine, that all is good. So, the third practice of the mystic is forgiveness. Mystics need to carry forgiveness in their toolkits. As creations of God, we've been given free will, and our hearts and minds have the choice of holding forgiveness or judgment. They're opposites, so we cannot hold both thoughts at the same time. Let's think about the Cinderella story. You know, Cinderella's fairy godmother did not show up and say, that stepmother of yours is a piece of work and we're going to show her. Nope, she didn't do that. What do you think would have happened if the fairy godmother had shown up with those thoughts in her head? Would she have been able to tap her mystical powers and magical powers and do some good in the world? No, she would not have been able to tap that power. But it's obvious from the story that the fairy godmother knew about the abuse that Cinderella had endured from her stepmom and her stepsisters, or she wouldn't have shown up in the first place. So clearly she thought that the situation needed a magical intervention. But the fairy godmother was too wise to get stuck in the muck of the situation and to blame and shame and judge. You know, metaphysically, all these characters live inside of us. There are times when our mean stepmother comes out and beats us over the head with a demand to do this or do that. And our jealous and evil stepsisters sometimes take control of our minds and berate us and laugh at us and shame us. But thank God, we also have a fairy godmother inside of us that's there to soothe us and have compassion and to show us the way to happier thoughts and richer outcomes. It can be hard to love people who are not loving us, but you're a mystic. You believe that life is a miracle and you have angel thoughts all around you. So as a mystic, you don't require the other person to love you before you love them. You are of God and God loves unconditionally. God is love. You said that in your principle. So we don't love because people deserve it. We love them because they are divine and holy creations of God, just like you, even if they've forgotten their way. Our job is to love them until they can remember to love themselves. So we choose to not stay focused on the perception of the reality of he said, she said, they did, they didn't. Because the miracle of the realm of miracles cannot exist at the level of drama. The drama story is a much slower vibration than the energy of God. And miracles cannot manifest at the level of blame and shame and judgment. So if you want to use your fairy godmother powers, you must forgive and forgive everything and forgive it all. Remember, we're all one mind connected to all people and all things. And what we think and do to others eventually comes back to us. So today we pray, dear God, I have judgments and resentments against this person. Help me reach a higher thought. I'm open and receptive to seeing this differently. That's a powerful prayer when we find that we might be stuck in a place of unforgiveness. Every situation is ultimately a lesson in forgiveness. And forgiveness is our decision to see beyond the fear and the blame and the shame and the guilt and the judgment. So we're going to be like the great Einstein and go to another level of thinking that can see how to bring solutions to problems and answers to questions. I want to encourage you to use forgiveness so you can transform your evil stepmom archetype and turn your pumpkin resentments into golden carriages that will carry you to love and peace. And finally, we look at the mystic's practice of meditation. I know you hear about it often. It's that practice where we align with our true nature, with the Christ within, so that our world can be one of beauty and peace and joy and song and friendship and love. Another animated character that reminds us of this beautiful life is Snow White. Did you wake up this morning singing that life was beautiful and saying, I love my life? Perhaps you did. And then perhaps some of us may have looked at our TV or computer or our phone and thought, I don't see that wonderful world. So we must create that peace and beauty inside ourselves because it's an inside-out universe. We must have it in here before we can have it out there. We continue to think that we can rearrange the world out there, but we really have to rearrange the world in here. And the way that we do that is by tapping in and using that mystic's tool of meditation. See, in our minds, a portal exists that can take us from the raging wildness of the world to the pure, sweet quietness of spirit. In one moment, we can be lost in the insanity. And then with one centering breath and practice, we can be one with God. The Buddhists say, don't just do something, sit there. Meditation harmonizes our minds, it alkalizes our souls, it transforms us at depth. A moment of silent sacredness is the cosmic reset button. So today, I want to encourage you to stop in the name of love. Stop the craziness in your life with a regular routine of a few minutes in meditation. And the more that you practice, the more the universe is going to move into harmony, move back to that state of the Garden of Eden. It's very soothing for us to just take that quiet time and allow that shift in consciousness to happen within us. It's not about changing those out there. It's about this inner work we do, right? Another quote from A Course in Miracles, it says, if you connect with spirit for only 5 minutes, 1,000 souls are saved. Only 5 minutes can create a huge shift on the planet. How about it? You want to practice with me? Let's all take a few minutes of meditation and reflection. So just find that comfortable place wherever you are and allow your breath to take you inward. Easy and gently, your natural breath at your own rhythm. And we just sit back. And as we turn within and shut our outer eyes and allow the world outside of ourselves to move into the faded distance, it is this moment that's important. In this now moment, we allow ourselves to expect miracles in our lives. For each prayer request that was expressed through the chat or held in consciousness, we expect a miracle in that situation. We expect a higher, more divine outworking than the direction it appears to be headed. We release attachment to thinking that we know how things must turn out. We want to lift higher, see things brighter, be more open and receptive. To reach a different outcome that is beyond our reach, we call upon these God thoughts, these beautiful angels, to fly in and around us and all those that we care about, to fly in and around every situation and every circumstance. And we just see those angels flying around, maybe even as blue butterflies, bringing love and peace and joy into every situation. And anywhere we doubt or have a block, we bring forth the practice of forgiveness. We want to forgive quickly, forgive lavishly, because resentments block God's good from flowing openly into our lives. It's the kink in the hose that keeps us from being able to water the garden of our lives. So if there's any place in you that needs to be soothed with forgiveness, just do that now. And if there's a situation that you don't feel that you can forgive, or a person that you feel you can't forgive, just ask God to help you with that. And let us sit quietly for a few minutes of silence as we bask in the energy of the divine, holding the highest and the best for everyone, everywhere. And with the next breath, just allow your attention to come back into your physical space. Hearts grateful for this time that we have spent emptying ourselves, raising our consciousness, and becoming willing to be greater expressions of the divine in our lives. And with this breath, we say, thank you. I accept. I am willing. I am grateful. So as we align our hearts and minds with that great designer, we know for sure that we will have less problems and difficulties in our lives. And when challenges do occur, we now have tools readily available so that we can implement our spiritual strength and handle them powerfully and positively. My encouragement to each of you is to go forth this week, expect miracles, call on your angels, forgive lavishly, and practice healing the planet 5 minutes at a time. It's my great honor and privilege to be with you. God bless.